Good morning and welcome to the Archers Arena here in Cardiff. It's day 2 of the Under-18 Four Nations tournament, and we have got another great slate of games for you today. 6 games throughout the day, and we're tipping off for the first one, England v Ireland men, at 9 o'clock in around 5 minutes time. I'm Kaz here with Tom. We're going to be with you throughout today's game. And Tom, looking at these two squads, expecting an exciting game today?
Yeah, this is probably the top 2 teams in the men's tournament. They played a friendly on Friday night in Ireland. Well, Ireland were pretty comfortable winners there, so England have had a little bit more time to gel, a little bit more time to go over exactly how they want to play. I'm expecting to see a much improved England, but I think this will be there's a lot of athletes, so it will be a physical and hotly contested affair. Definitely,
and yeah, so England starting things off yesterday morning, they won their first game against Wales 109-65. And they were led by Nedas Šurlavinskas. He had 17 points, and so did Sebastian Emanalo. And England started the game off raining threes. So Ireland, a team that we know, again, like to shoot the three. We saw it in their games earlier yesterday. How do you think they're going to match up together? Both teams obviously hot from behind the arc. Is that going to continue?
Yeah. It's not an easy gym to shoot in, and whenever you go to a new place, you've got to learn to shoot on different rims with different backgrounds. But Ireland certainly, especially in that first game, really on fire against Wales. They cooled down slightly, but they had enough size inside to handle that. I think from an English perspective, if they can contain 1 or 2 key initial threats, I know that Oasis was doing a lot of damage, and Daryl Cuff was creating a lot. If they can contain probably 1 or 2 key threats, that might take away the threes for everyone else. They weren't really creating them themselves. It was a lot of passing and driving kick stuff. So if they can limit that initial impact with the drives, then they'll find it a little bit easier to defend the 3-point line.
Yeah, definitely. So Ireland coming into this at 2-0, winning both of their games yesterday with an 82.5 point per game average, as they beat Scotland 82-43. and Wales 83-41 later on. And Ireland's bringing a bit of a larger squad today compared to some of the teams. Does that benefit them?
They've certainly been able to keep themselves fresh. Even the players that have played a fair bit, they've still only, at most, they've played we've got 40 minutes across the day is the most that anyone played. So they'll be fresh, raring to go. They're going together as a group to the European Championships this summer, so they're also wanting to get themselves cemented in that 12. You're not able to take those 17 and rotate them through, so they want to get themselves in the 12. So individually there's a little bit of competition there, but also they've grown together as a group over the course of the year, and then from an English perspective, they're looking to try and group their way into Alan Keane's Under-18s team. So both sets of players also looking to try and make an impact for later on in the summer as well. So a little bit of personal pride as well as national pride there.
Definitely, and that's why events like this is such a great showcase, aren't they? Like, it's an opportunity for players to put their talent on display, for the coaches of the national teams to have a look at them in a competitive atmosphere.
Yeah, we're seeing the teams there, and some of the names on this England Under-18s men's team, they're probably used to playing quite a bit at their club level. Some of most of the best and brightest young players in the country, but they have to come here and they have to adapt to new roles. Not every player can play loads of minutes. Same thing for Ireland. They've probably done the best and brightest in their respective fields. So trying to put themselves on that showcase, and there's some great names here. Miles who Gottfried. We played against him this year with the Bracknell Cobras for my National League team, and I refereed him, a great young talent, and he's sadly cracking the rotation here. So that shows the level that England have brought. Nedas Šurlavinskas, obviously 2 years here. Matthew Goodwin showing a lot of composure and leadership in the game. So lots of young talent, but also trying to really show those like senior skills, but in a junior environment is a challenge, but one that they're embracing so far.
Yeah, definitely. So if we have a look at the starting fives for both teams, so for England it will be Matt Goodwin, Liam Campbell, Nedas Šurlavinskas, Edward Oyear and Timothy Obo. And for Ireland, Iveris Uosis, Jack Kehoe, Declan Janibi, Daryl Cuff and Victor Okoji. So England playing in white today, Ireland will be in green. And as I mentioned before, 6 great games of basketball for you today on the Basketball Wales YouTube channel, so make sure to like and subscribe. Stay tuned all day long, as we've got some fantastic games coming up for you today. After this one at 11 o'clock, it will be Wales and England women. So back on court, jumping for the tip. For England, it will be Obo and Okoji. Ball's up, and England get the first possession. Campbell controlling things to start. He was fantastic in yesterday's game. Round to Sholovinskas. Sholovinskas for 3. Doesn't drop. Picked up by Ireland. And Tom, we said before, these are teams that like to shoot the 3-point ball.
Good look at first off in the game for England. Nice little down screen action on the far side, and I think Adam Davis got to be happy with that as a first look. It looked good coming out of Jolovinska's hand, and the next time that he gets that look, Ireland have to be a little bit more aware and not allow that easy opportunity.
As Goodwin kicks back out to Sholovinskas, and that 3 doesn't go either. But again, another good look.
Yeah, getting into the paint, kicking out, that's probably going to be a key part of the game plan. Keep it simple. They won't have had a lot of time to work in a lot of sets like Ireland might have, so just keeping it simple and trying to play to their players' strengths early.
3's no good for Okoji. Both teams yet to hit from behind the arc. Oh yeah, stepping through, hook shot, doesn't go. And Tom, it is early in the day. It is 9 o'clock in the morning. It's quite an early time to be playing basketball, so sometimes it might take a little while for these teams to get into rhythm.
Yeah, you don't have the same sort of routine. At the professional level, you play a lot of games very late. At the amateur level, you get a lot of 3 o'clock games, but 9 o'clock games, your nutrition's got to change, your pre-game routine's got to change. No lack of energy there, mind you. That's some serious hustle there. Wow.
That is what we saw from Liam Campbell in the game yesterday as well. Just a real tough player. As Ireland is stripped, Obo comes up, hands it over to Goodwin, who just lays it in. Oh, it pops back out. Obo with the rebound. A chance for a 3-point play here. And the energy from England early on is fantastic to see.
And an early timeout, we can see Paul Gillow getting himself set. He's not happy with the early efforts from his team. Pass is just a little bit too late for Goodwin. A good effort collides with the stanchion, and a really strong finish through the foul. Way to follow up on the effort there while the basket was probably still moving around. We're just seeing there the effort from Liam Campbell and Obo there in defence, just getting their hands on the ball and going the other way. Ireland definitely need to raise their focus, I would say, in these early stages. England have come out with that sort of physical fire, and they've got to try and match that. Yeah,
that could be quite difficult, can't it, when you've got a team that's pressured you early on? They're setting. If England are going to set the tone, Ireland are going to need to match that.
Yeah, we thought Ireland were going to be both across men's and women's, tenacious, physical, full court. Right now, they're probably not staying true to their own principles of play. England coming out, and they're still trying to find their style of play, and it's a tricky situation for Adam Davis to work out exactly what he wants this team to do, given the small time frames that you're involved in this sort of thing. But these early bits look like they've made a lot of progress from Friday night.
Yeah. So teams coming back on court. England with a quick 4-0 lead, and they will be at the line. And England, having not played since yesterday morning, 9 o'clock was their last game, so they've had a good day of rest before being back on court. So, oh yeah, Obo at the line. Chance for a 3-point play here. And that's short. Rebound Ireland. They look to get on the scoreboard here. Uosis driving to the basket, kicks it out. 3's up, and oh, we got a wedgie.
There it is. There's the wedgie. The athletic players can get that. Athletic players can get that down. That's where the referees are glad that these are under 18s. And when that happens in a junior game, and people look at me, I'm like, I can't help you out here. We're gonna have to get another ball out. Of course, a wedgie becomes a jump ball.
And we just got a stoppage on the court. Looks like refs just want to check something over. Not sure if they're checking the clock, the time on the clock.
Just see, you think, perhaps confirming whether or not jump ball. And the shot clock's being ticked down here.
It was on 6 seconds. They put it up to 16. So it's 16 seconds on the shot clock. Ireland inbound. U18. Three's up. That one doesn't go. And Ireland struggling a bit from behind the arc here today.
Long rebounds with these hoops as well. We saw like yesterday the offensive rebounding numbers, not just because teams weren't boxing out, but so they can box out as much as they want. The rebounds are going quite far.
Yeah.
So that's something that both teams have to be aware of, is that, you know, with both teams shooting a lot of threes, the rebounds will go far.
Sholovinskas kicks it down. Oh yeah, driving back to Sholovinskas, steps back for three. And that's good. Sholovinskas hitting his first three of the game.
He threatened in those first two, and maybe that's the one that gets him going.
U18 tries to answer and can't. Ball's chased down by Goodwin. He's got Sholovinskas up ahead. He just lays it. Can't finish on the layup. And he's going to head to the line for two. And the speed, Matt Goodwin now, 3 plays where he's been out there on the break, able to get ahead of his teammates and either get to the basket or pass it off.
Yeah, when you can just score the easy ones in transition and create those opportunities without having to break down a defense that contains a lot of size, everyone feels a little bit happier scoring in transition, seeing the ball go through the hoop easily. Sholovinskas with that three, and now at the free throw line, he's got a great chance to build some confidence, build some rhythm. Then the next time he comes down the floor and takes that jump shot, he's seen the ball go through the hoop multiple times.
So first shot's good for Sholovinskas. As is the second, and that may be the quietest I've heard the arena all weekend.
Yeah, the Irish fans haven't quite woken up yet. I'm sure that in a little bit, once their team's on the board, maybe they'll get themselves going a little bit. But a tough start for Ireland, and the fans just need something to get them going a little bit.
And that's stolen away by Sholovinskas. England doing a good job here, forcing a turnover. And Campbell, his three's no good. U18 hands it off. Oh, and a great move under the basket as Dynamik just lays it in.
Ireland on the board now. The bench have got a little bit of energy there. Maybe the crowd have got something to cling on to. It's still early days. You know, 9-0 looks like a bad start, and it probably is, but there's so much time left in the game that you shouldn't really let it impact you.
Exactly. A lot of basketball still to play. Oh, yeah, driving. Can't get that to fall off the glass as U18 comes up with it. Over to Cuff. Cuff pulls up for three. That's too short.
Lovely pass by U18, perfectly floated over the top of the defence, right into the stride for Cuff.
And you wonder if maybe Ireland want to look at maybe swinging the ball around a little bit. When they were moving the ball yesterday, they were getting those looks from three. Like you say, they're down. There's still a lot of basketball to play, but they don't need to take quick shots. It's not you don't need to take panic shots.
Yeah, I think, you know, if that's their style of play, they just need to find that line between fast ball movement. I think there's a line between fast ball movement and fast shots. You know, you can play long offenses with lots of tempo. So far, they've not really threatened too much inside the paint. They tried to throw one backdoor pass that was stolen away, but they probably just need to get that ball popping around, get a few more touches on it. Once you've touched and passed the ball a couple of times, people feel a little bit happier.
As Campbell draws the foul, that'll be the first foul on Darryl Cuff. And sideline England ball. Campbell with the inbound. Into Sholovinskas. Can't get that to drop. Oh, yeah, with the offensive board, though, out to Goodwin. And Matt Goodwin with time nails the three-pointer. And we see that so much from Matt Goodwin in his regular season with the Manchester Magic. The composure that he has, he squared up, took the shot, nothing but net.
Well, I think the accidental assist there looked like he was going up for the shot. The ball happened to bounce into the right place. We'll see if this goes down.
And Obo slams it down.
Well, that is a start for England. They are juiced. It's not a massive crowd in here, but those England fans are making a lot of noise. And that team, you can see the way they're moving around on defence. They're playing with a lot of energy right now.
And that's going to be really good for Coach Adam Davies to see Coach Mike Bernard on the bench as well. That this England team have come out so strong.
Yeah, and I think you can just see the length they also still have to come on the bench. If that's going to be the style they play, it's a tough shot they're forced on defence. That might be their way to success for the rest of the game.
Oh, Campbell kicks it out. Oh, yeah. Stepping through, hook shots too short. And that pass from Campbell, I know it didn't result in a finish, but he has been fantastic as a facilitator.
Driving baseline, you know that someone should be filling the corner on offence. Now, a help defence should probably cut that off. The next pass would be out to the wing. Help defence wasn't there, and it's a great pass all the way out to the corner there for the shooter.
And that's a foul on Sholovinskas. It's a sideline Ireland ball. As we got a couple of substitutions for England. Lewis Smith and Sebastian Emenalo into the game. And Tyrese Perry-Huggins. Now, Emenalo yesterday, he had 17 points. He hit a few threes. Just a young player as well, 16 years old. He was fantastic for England.
Yeah, you say, and again, we can see there's just a lot of size, a lot of length, and I think when you put up 17 points like that starts to be like a really good showing where you have to do a little bit more than finish what other people give you. You start to have to show a little bit of creativity yourself. Oh, that's a great pass.
Sholovinskas lays it in off the glass. And he's got 7 so far for England.
That's a lovely pass ahead in transition. They're passing in transition between Goodwin and Campbell so far has been excellent.
It's been great to see, as Ireland still can't hit from behind the arc. Emenalo, and he's going to do the one-handed slam.
That looks like the second timeout having to be called by Paul Keller there. He's out of timeouts for the first half. You can see how high the England boys are there, and well deserved. Emenalo got up for that one. Look, I want to see how high he got here.
Yeah,
that's an easy one. But like we said, these long rebounds off these shots. Ireland's transition defense, it starts from their offensive spacing. It'll be interesting to see on the next few shots where the players are. If there's too many players down in the corner and on the baseline, these long rebounds are falling straight to the England players at the top. One player just has to leak out. They probably need to look a little bit more at their offense to stop their defense being so bad in transition.
Yeah, and that's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't want to tell people you must stand here on offense because on defense it's important, but finding that balance of spacing on offense and being prepared for transition defense is a key part of success at the European level, and it's a tough test coming up for these teams. Ireland, they're going to take on Kosovo, Netherlands, Ukraine, Romania and Estonia. That's not an easy group by any stretch. There's a couple of really strong teams in there with international pedigree, and if these England boys make the GB squad, then North Macedonia, Austria, Iceland and Norway, so still a couple of nations in there that are not to be trifled with, as it were. So it's still a high standard at Division B, and Ireland really need to improve in these next 4 minutes 24. They seem to have come out like they're still stuck in the hotel.
Yeah, it's a bit of a different team, the Irish team, to the ones that we saw yesterday, because they were the ones playing with pace. They were the ones getting out to a really strong start. Yeah, it could be. I imagine Paul Keller's tearing his hair out here, but I can imagine that it's a little bit weird when your tactics get done against you. Full court pressure, transition offense. You think, what's going on here? And then your players start to panic a little bit. So probably key would be can they calm down on offense and create just a couple of better looks to settle themselves. Great hustle from both England and Ireland. Sholovinskas diving on the floor to grab the ball. I like to see that, but I just noticed there that the spacing was a little bit higher, a little bit closer to the top of the three-point line. So if that shot did go up, there were a few more players ready to get back in transition. Maybe that's going to be a common thread, that they just changed their offense slightly to guard against defense. Sheridan, who's blocked at the buzzer by Smith. Goodwin. And Goodwin's just going to reset for England. Over to Sholovinskas. Sholovinskas turns, fires the three. Too strong, and it's tapped out of bounds. Going to stay with England. And again, another good look from Sholovinskas. Yeah, the defence with their hands down there. And then that long rebound as well, nearly causing some issues. England still get to maintain it. There's too many problems for Ireland right now to fix in one go, but they've got to start making a bit of a dent here. I have to say, my thoughts at the start of the game, they've been totally wrong. I've been so impressed by England so far. Yeah, England have been great to start this off as Goodwin looks to inbound. And the arc, inside to Perry-Huggins, backing down and off the glass. That's too strong tapped into the hands of Emanalo. Goodwin's calling for it on the three-point line. Smith in the corner. That one's no good. And what I like to see, and you see it from Emanalo, so he just taps the ball. He didn't get it on that possession, but he does such a good job of just tipping the ball into the hands of his teammates.
Yeah, they're crashing the glass relentlessly. I mean, normally like Sholovinskas and Smith here probably play in the wings, and they've got so much size compared to the general Ireland counterparts that it's so tough on the glass. Ireland probably need to look a little bit more at traditional boxing out here. Can they get rid of people first and then go chase the ball?
Goodwin stops, pulls up from the free throw line, and nails it. And the confidence that Matt Goodwin plays with, you love to see it.
That's such a tough shot. The balance required there is incredible. To stop on a dime like that and go straight up and straight down is really impressive.
And Goodwin picks up the offensive board, so another chance for England. And Sholovinskas driving the baseline with the reverse. Can't get it to go. It's tips. Perry Huggins can't finish, but again, the hustle and the pace from England is fantastic to see on the board. And Sholovinskas all the way off the glass. Count it, and the foul. He's going to head to the free throw line. Nedas Sholovinskas putting on a show here in the first quarter. 9 points so far.
Rory in there. Looks like he probably should have just given the ball up as he's coming down the court. He was heavily guarded. Looks like there was an open pass ahead of him on the wing, and then he commits the double whammy of the turnover and the and one foul. That's one of those plays as a player where you're like, that's one that you need to have that mental resilience to recover from. Opening up a 20-point lead in the first quarter, and after a little bit of a sluggish start for Sholovinskas, good looks, but just didn't quite get them to go. He's got his handprints all over this game now.
He finishes the free throw, and Goodwin checks out along with Sholovinskas. So Daniel Nwazu into the game. And tough for Ireland. Just over 2.5 minutes to play in the first, and Ireland really needing to get some points on the board here as U18 gets fouled on the shot. And that's going to send him to the line. And we saw U18 last year, one of the returning players in this tournament, the MVP of the Irish team last year. He had a good game yesterday. And probably one of the key players on this Irish squad.
Yeah, he didn't have to do too much against Scotland, but against Wales, he really did run the show. 23 points, made 3 threes. It felt like everything ran through him on the perimeter, and at the start of this game, I thought that maybe U18 versus Sholovinskas would be the sort of deciding matchup. If they evened each other out, then obviously the supporting cast needs to play. But right now, Sholovinskas is certainly winning that battle of the two scoring big guards. So he needs to find a way to get going, because I think Ireland need him to get going. Zone look here.
Emanalo steps through, long two, and that's good. Emanalo picking up where he left off yesterday.
That 1-3-1 zone there from Ireland. We've got to see if England are happy with that look from Emanalo on a consistent basis. Drains it there, but will they accept sort of long twos, pull up on a regular basis?
And Ireland just can't finish the layup under the basket. Good look, but again, pressure from England defensively.
That length again causing a lot of issues. Even if you're big as someone's as big as you, then you want to find a way to combat that. Interesting timeout there from England. Given that they've still got all the momentum, Adam Davis may feel that they're comfortably up and they can talk a little bit about the zone offense. 1-3-1's an unusual zone to try and play offense against. Also, it depends if the 1-3-1 wants to come and trap you in the corners of the court.
Yeah.
If it does that, then you can find yourself in some weird places, because those are normally the places you like to get the ball against the zone, and the traditional areas are not always as open. It may be that Ireland now take the zone off and see if they've wasted their timeout, but I think Ireland need to change something.
Yes,
so I would say that they stay with the 1-3-1 and see if England can counter it.
That's a good call, isn't it? Like you say, they need to change something, and if they're not hitting from behind the arc, they need to try get inside. Defensively as well, they've been, like England have just been able to break it.
Yeah, 12 points in the paint, 15 fast break points. That's a recipe for success when you like to look at those numbers as a coach.
When you look at England, they look like they're doing everything right. Is there anything that you think they can improve on, they can change it?
I think they might be a little bit too trigger happy. I think they could perhaps move the ball on a little bit more. One extra pass on a couple of occasions would really open things up. They've done it a couple of times, but a couple of times they've gone themselves, which I think is an understandable natural reaction from these guys, given that that's what they are supposed to do on a weekly basis for their clubs. But at the higher level, you need to make those additional passes. It's
always interesting, isn't it, when you've got a team full of players that are probably the main guy, the main player on their team, how it works when they come together.
Yeah, it's a tough battle for any international coach to deal with that, and that's why sometimes you need to pick players who are good in their roles, who do the same roles for the national team. It's easy to just find the 12 best players and hope they fit. Sometimes you have to take guys who are good at their roles.
U18 for 3, and that one doesn't fall. Ireland still to hit from behind the arc.
It was a good look though. I think the Irish coaching staff have got to take that.
Smith. Oh, great pass inside. As Nuazu's shot doesn't fall. And it's picked off by Smith under the basket. Hands it off. Oh, the hustle from England here, but it's picked up by Okoji. And Lewis Smith looked like he was looking for the foul call, as he ended up flattened on the floor. Chases the ball down there from the other end of the court, gets the rebound. And Campbell hands it off. And an offensive foul call here on England. Bit of a wild couple of possessions.
Yeah, I saw the reaction of the England coaching staff to the hard screen. The screen looked like it was fair, and when you're tracking in transition and no one calls a screen, sometimes you can just take the hit. Maybe not enough contact down there, and then they call here. At some point, someone was not going to be happy after that sequence, and it happened to be England. But that's the sort of that looks like he's got a good position there to me. And there's probably too much contact to ignore. Potential backcourt violation there. This game's starting to play a little bit scrappier, needing this game to heat up a little bit, maybe to get themselves going and see if they can up their tempo with a little bit more physicality.
Yeah, just 2 points for Ireland in the first quarter, as Smith stops, pulls up from the baseline. Long jumpers, no good. It's unlucky for that when you see it almost in and then pops back out again. U18's pass is intercepted. Emanalo is just going to step out of bounds there, so it's going to stay with Ireland. We've got 27.3 left in the first. And England here with a dominant 23-point lead.
I was not expecting that, but Ireland had a couple of good shots recently. They've just missed them, but also the pressure and the scoreline pressure is making them panic a little bit on their passing and their decision making. They have to kind of take that out of the equation.
Campbell for England. Shot clock's off. 9 seconds in the game. Well, first quarter. Emanalo round to Campbell. Campbell, he's blocked. That's huge from Okoji.
Yeah, Ireland protected the rim quite well yesterday against Wales. Made it tough inside, blocked plenty of shots, committed plenty of fouls with it, but smart one there to go get it after the ball's left the hand.
So it's going to be England ball. We've got 0.5 on the shot clock, so it's got to be a catch and shoot at the buzzer. So Campbell looks inside, and that will do it for the end of the first quarter. A 25-2 England lead over Ireland. A surprising result based on, I think, what a lot of people would have been expecting.
Just struggling to put my head around it. England have been on top in every aspect of the game. Their style of play totally outdoing Ireland and how they want to play. England's pressure and their ability to score in transition. It's not like they've lit it up from outside. They're 2 of 8, but the threat of that, Ireland are a bit scrambled and all over the place. They need to find a way to draw together here, go back to exactly what they want to focus on. So let's go and we'll play some solid zone defense, and we need to get inside the key. Just simplify it. All these highlights are going to be going pretty much one way.
That's the Ireland basket.
The only Ireland score. A nice pass, an attempt at a charge by Jolovinskas, probably not enough contact on that one. But yeah, it felt like whatever England wanted to do, they basically could.
And we look at the turnovers that England have forcing 8 turnovers, scoring 10 points from that. And just compared to 1, England committing 1 turnover in the first quarter. I mean, if you're the coaching staff, you've got to be pleased with that.
Yeah, and the only turnover is that charge towards the end there. So looking after the ball incredibly well, and the 6 steals as well. So it's not like they're just forcing them to throw the ball out of bounds. They're able to sometimes just take the ball off them or out of their hands and go the other way. You know, it looks to be another very big unit coming out here for England. It looks like a lot of big guards in this group, so it'd be interesting to see what sort of style of play they go for here. Perhaps they look to go more perimeter orientated with this group.
And we're going to see Myers and Gottfried and Emmanuel Adeniyi into the game for the first time for England. And it's probably a good, I'm going to say, problem for England to have, that the depth of the bench that they have.
Yeah, Adam Davies, it's not like he's got these 12 guys twice a week for a whole season to work out exactly where everyone fits into it. You've got to look at what they do for their clubs, bring them in and try and give them all an opportunity to showcase what they can do. But it probably is a good idea to bring in the under 16s and 17s to give them a little bit longer chance.
Gottfried commits the foul as Uosis goes up. And we see there Gottfried just chasing Uosis down, goes for the block, but just knocks him out.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to discuss this, and I would imagine they're going to head over to the IRS. I think you've got to take a look at this. Potential and sportsmanlike fouls can be reviewed, so I would go and take a look at this.
If you're Ireland, though, that's a good start to the quarter. Just a couple of seconds in, Uosis putting the pressure on, forcing the turnover. And they are going to take a look at this.
Yeah, regular foul call just to start, so they need to look to disprove it. Yeah, that's going to be a tricky one. I think they're going to spend a little bit of time looking at this.
So that's going to give both teams a bit of time as well to talk things over. Just coming out of that quarter break, as we can see there, Gottfried chasing down Uosis. I think that you see the hand on the arm.
Yeah. So what we're seeing on the stream is what the referees get to see. They're coming back out. Interesting to see. Yeah, unsportsmanlike foul. So I think what they've seen there is effectively behind the play, and they may be thinking not necessarily a guaranteed play on the ball. Always tough in transition, especially with the strictness of the new rules. But yeah, I think that's probably the right decision overall.
Yeah. As Uosis hits the first free throw, so that's his first from the line today. And 2 of 2 for Uosis. And that gives him 2 points to go, along with 5 rebounds. So it'll be sideline Ireland ball after the unsportsmanlike call.
Yeah, there's probably a few criteria there that I think it fits into. Nice pass, nice finish, and you can just see the reaction there. You can just see it in the corner of your screens, and now they're clapping. Couple of plays in a row, and it doesn't take much to get these Irish fans going.
Exactly. Nwazu can't get to the basket. And there we go, Ireland have doubled their score in the first quarter already, in the first few seconds.
Yeah, a nice stand there and move it in transition. This would be a big 3.
Flynn's shot doesn't fall, but Ireland looking a bit more energised here, playing with a bit more pace.
Yes, it doesn't take. Maybe it takes a couple of shots for your team to start to feel it a little bit, and it is a young unit for England, and it isn't full of their top players. So it's maybe a unit that they can take advantage of for Ireland.
As Cuff hands it off to Uosis, who finishes, and Uosis having a great start here to the quarter.
And I think it was probably almost do or die time for Ireland if they didn't make a run to start. Knowing that they got no timeouts left, England have only got 1. It was a bold call by Paul Keller to use them both in the first quarter. I think I'd have gone with it.
And Gottfried hits a 3.
Yeah, he did that against us in the National League game.
It's a nice little turnaround on
they were tough shots. It was a high-scoring game. I think it was 98 plays 92 or something like that. Bracknell really did a good job shooting the ball, and there he's shown why he was MVP of the Southern Conference in the ABL.
Yes, he was All-Conference first team as well. And once had a 74-point game for Bracknell in the under-18s.
74 points, I think.
It's a lot of points.
I don't know how many years you'd have to go back for me to tally 74 points in total.
Uosis swings it round. And O'Flynn driving, kicks it out. Ball movement's much better here from Ireland as Cuff looks to get inside 1 second to shoot, and that is going to be after the shot clock. So England with a really good defensive possession there, able to force the shot clock violation, but Ireland when they're moving the ball around, they're getting some good looks.
Yeah, the size there caused a bit of an issue. Flynn wanted to go towards the hoop. There's so much size swarming. The pass across to U18 was a little bit off, so that's where England's size comes in. They've added Dynamik out there as well. There's a lot of size there that makes that tough. So they're getting in there, and now they have to find a way to be composed against bigger threats.
Yeah, because that's difficult, isn't it? You're driving inside and then you see a wall of players, a wall of height coming towards you.
I was going to say, Cholovinskas and Emanalo are probably the two wings, and I think they're both in the 6'5" region.
And cuff shot doesn't go. Offensive board Ireland. O'Flynn's going to try. That shot's not going to go.
Got to keep shooting that. That's their way back into the game. Offensive rebound, kick out. It's one of the best ways to get a good three-point look. Your feet are already squared up to the hoop, and they have to keep taking that.
And Cholovinskas' pass is knocked out, so it's going to stay with England. And we'll have a substitution, so Timothy Obo back in for England.
I think they've had a couple of nice possessions against the zone defence. I think Ireland going back into man in this situation, but they've managed to get the ball in the high post and then find the low post guy cutting. So it's something that Ireland need to look at and England want to keep going with.
Cholovinskas' three doesn't fall. And we got a jump ball call on the ball. Great to see that from Obo, just coming into the game, getting his hands on the ball, forcing that jump ball. Yeah,
it doesn't get anything from it on the stats, but the next time that happens, it goes the team's way. And as coaches, you always make a mental note, really, of who's involved in those sort of jump ball hustle situations.
Saying to Dav yesterday, I'd love to see a column for a jump ball to see which player forces the most.
I think I'd be worried if you did that for some junior games, but at this level, we've seen a lot of jump balls in games this week. I think it just shows how hard both teams are going for the ball.
Absolutely. Oh, great pass from Campbell into Cholovinskas under the basket, fighting for it and gets it to fall.
Yeah, that's a great pass, and that's a tough finish. I mean, that's just great basketball all round, really, from England there.
And Ireland calls another turnover. Campbell manages to get it over to Cernak as he was falling. That's a great move from Campbell.
Yeah, Campbell playing for London Elite this year. Spoke to James Dorr about that game. James Dorr coaching the under-18 men's at Cardiff Archers. They played against London Elite. He said he's one of the best players he's ever seen at that level.
He was fantastic in the under-18 National Cup tournament earlier in January for London Elite, MVP of that game. He's such a good rebounder as well for a player his size, a bit of an undersized guard, 5'11", but he was out-rebounding the rest of the England team yesterday.
Well, he's not a skinny 5'11", he's a strong man. He's got a lot of power on those legs, and he's got a good upper body, so that when he goes up, he's not going to be knocked around very easily, so he's able to go up and fight amongst the trees. We saw Emma Bailey with Wales come down with one yesterday, and I think it's a similar thing. Even if it's a guard, if you're a little bit on the size, you can just want it, you go get it, and rebounding is more about desire than anything else.
And he definitely plays like that. He sees the ball, chases after it.
Probably a coach's dream to have players like that.
And Campbell again out to Emanalo. Emanalo for three and hits. He has been on fire from three these last couple of games.
That looked good from the moment it left the hand. We had a pretty good view of it from here, and that's a very nice looking shot, that one. 17
years old as well. He's doing a fantastic job for this England team.
Yeah, just you need those not role players so much. It feels like that's maybe the wrong word, but those like key cogs that come in. They're not the star guys all the time, but they come in and they do their little bits and they get that ball moving on, and they can carry the offense when the key players sit. And every team needs those sorts of players, and it bodes well for him that he's got plenty of time left at this level to grow into the role.
As Ireland underneath the basket, can't finish. And Campbell comes up with it again for England. Emanalo stops, hangs it in the air and draws the contact, so he's going to head to the line. And again, Emanalo, so he's playing Division 1 this season for the Thames Valley Cavaliers. And a great opportunity for him in the league, playing against the competition that he will week in, week out in Division 1.
Division 1's a very good level of basketball, and experience playing against the Reading Rockets myself this year. They were on a bit of a bad streak in Division 1, and they were still a very good outfit. You've only got to see the quality of players that Worthing and Hemel and Derby have racked up. And
they can challenge some BBL teams.
Solent have had a worse year than usual, and they've still been a great team. There's still plenty of great players, even in those relegation teams. So A real challenge for a youngster to play against fully grown men who understand the game of basketball and exactly what they want to do all the time, and that can only really benefit a young player going forward.
So it was Shabab covered by Campbell, swings it round to U18.
Ireland can't seem to hold on to the ball at the moment. I think that pressure's getting to them and making them a little bit nervous and uptight.
Yeah, as Kehoe knocks down the 3 for Ireland. And
finally on the board from downtown by the looks of it, and just a much needed one, but you don't want to be giving up a shot like that down the other end.
No, just an easy basket from Cernak there. And it's tough when you've got a possession like that before, so Ireland were able to withstand that pressure, get a really good open shot, and the pressure from England here.
Forced to catch the ball near the halfway line, tipped past, just the length involved here, and the momentum, you can hear it. You know, they still can't catch the ball.
And that is going to almost run, it's going to run down the shot clock, and a travel call, so the call was travel as the shot clock was running down. And again, you see the passion from Matt Goodwin there. England are fired up.
That bench was well on their feet. Paul Keller, I think, asking for a couple of fouls maybe on some of the physical defence, as it were. Maybe a fair request on just one of those actions, but fundamentally most of it was really good, solid, technical and aggressive defence, and you can't really find any flaws in it.
Obo's pass inside, ball's loose. Cernak picks it up, but it's going to go out of bounds and with Ireland.
And again, Ireland getting away with that there. Half-time is going to be... half-time probably can't come soon enough, but they need to make a little bit of a dent here. You don't want to be asking someone to overturn a 30-point deficit in a half. They need to get it down from what we're at 27. I think you're looking at less than 20 to give themselves a chance at winning.
Yep, try to pull down to 15 as Obo will commit the foul as he was diving in for the steal. Yeah, you just got to look at it as a chip into this, break it down a little bit.
Just a little bit of immediate coaching there, and I think that's good from Adam Davis. He knows that's a foul, just trying to explain to Obo what he can do next time. I think sometimes when you talk about coaching, everyone just assumes that it's a little bit of tactics in game and that's it. But you can still give people technical feedback in games. Moving screen on Okoye there, just sliding his hips across by the looks of it. And like I said, Goodwin pumped up. The pressure getting to them there. You're desperate to free up your teammates. You're under pressure, and then bam, moving screen, and you lose all your momentum from that previous foul call.
And you see how hyped the England team are when they put on a good defensive play. Something like that can almost hype the team up as much as a dunk or a fast break.
Yeah, given they've only come together recently, I think they all met each other as a group for the first time 3 weeks ago. They'll have played against each other on the circuit, but you're to see that team chemistry building. When you spend 3 or 4 days together as a group, if you've got the right characters, you can really bond together quickly.
Definitely, and Perry Huggins with a great move underneath the basket. Gets his first points of the game. And Shabab trying to break past Campbell. Kicks it out, three's up. That's too strong. England up here, 40-11 in the second quarter, 3:45 to play.
It's just a little bit of disbelief, I think, from the Irish fans. They've not been their usual selves here. I just don't think they can quite understand. They're trying to get behind their team. They can't quite understand what's going wrong here, and I think Paul Keller's slightly scratching his head as well.
And again, another three doesn't drop for Ireland. Yeah, we're usually quite used to a very loud crowd from the Irish fans.
Yeah, and the Irish girls have just joined the gym as well, so maybe that will help them going. Another stop and pop there from Gooden. His balance is incredible on that. The ability to stop right where he wants to, go straight up, straight down. It's a very tough skill.
And he's done it a couple of times as well from that spot. And there we go, threes down for Ireland.
It's always a dream one. You've got to stick to your style of play. If your style of play is fast and threes, then you don't really want to go away from it just because it's not working. But they probably need to find a way to tweak it just to get maybe a couple of easier looks first. It's that's not going to help the situation.
No, that's a turnover for Ireland there. Miscommunication on the pass.
Interesting, in tennis you get forced errors and unforced errors. I'm not sure how they judge those. Don't really watch much tennis, but it'd be interesting to see some of these turnovers. I've seen it thud into those boards on the other side a couple of times. How many of these turnovers are actively defended, and how many of them are sort of the unenforced ones where the pressure gets to you after a back and forth battle?
Yeah, because when you're looking at the scoreboard, 42-14, England with 2:47 left. It's an uphill battle for Ireland, and we saw Ireland be the dominant team yesterday against both Wales and Scotland. So coming into this, they're a little bit on the back foot. They've not been in this position before in this tournament.
You know, they probably weren't expecting. They were probably expecting a tougher game than Friday. They won't be naive. But I think they weren't expecting this sort of start by England. Everything that England have touched seemed to go to gold, and Ireland 2 of 17 from the 3-point line, and only 3 of 10 inside the arc. So it seems their strategy is to put up plenty of threes, but they just need to find a way to perhaps get inside first, to then create those outside looks. Sometimes that they come into the key. If they're just swinging around the perimeter, they might not be able to get themselves squared up as easily.
Definitely. So thank you to everybody watching on the Basketball Wales YouTube channel. We're here throughout the day. We've got 5 more games coming up after this one, so make sure to like and subscribe, follow along, and just keep watching. We've got some great talent on show today. Yeah,
there's some real crackers. Ireland, Scotland next up in the women's game. Both teams taking down Wales yesterday. It'll be a really intriguing battle. Ireland have brought a lot of returners back, and Scotland have got 4 of their Caledonia Gladiators WBL players. So you need to come back for that one. You don't want to miss out on that game. It feels like every game is a cracker. Wales, England, and the women's later will be another one. 2 Ireland women's games. I mean, the great games just keep on coming.
And England will be back on court again at 1 o'clock against Scotland this afternoon. So not too much of a turnaround for them after this game.
No, we had an interesting discussion yesterday. Is it easier to have a 7-hour gap and maybe like you can cool down a bit, but maybe also stiffen up, or back to back you lose your fatigue? I think you'd probably rather have a bigger gap. I don't think you want to play in you never go truly back to back, but I don't think you want just the 2 hours off.
Yeah.
But you also probably don't want to be 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. There's probably a nice golden spot in the middle somewhere.
So Onyea at the line for England hits the first, and that's his first point of the game. Second's good. Oh, second's not good. It hits the front of the rim. And again, it's very quiet in here. It's very unusual for any teams we've been having, for it to be so quiet at the free throw line.
Yeah, I was expecting the Irish fans to probably make a little bit more noise there. They kind of need every free throw to be missed from now on. I was expecting a little bit more chaos to erupt from that end of the arena, but not quite.
U18 with the fadeaway, doesn't get it to fall. And Perry Huggins underneath the basket, drops it in.
That is a fantastic pass from Godfrey. Just perfectly lobs it over the top. And a nice layup. Just a little bit of pressure, knowing the shot blocker wanted to come in.
Kehoe pulls up and can't hit on that one. Ireland really struggling from the field as Perry Huggins out. Onyea stepping inside. He's almost quadruple teamed on that one.
Maybe the little dump up, but I think fundamentally it's a pretty open look inside the key. Ireland just allowing the drive to the middle of the floor. Some teams like to do that, but I'm not really believing that, and I'm not sure that they are either.
And U18, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Ireland needs to get something off here. And handoff, it's going to be too late. England forcing another shot clock violation. So they will get the ball back.
They're just struggling to hold on to the ball. No one has really had those problems over the last few games. Like the balls are all new, but they're not that new and shiny.
Yeah.
I think it's the pressure of England, knowing that just the moment you catch it, you're going to have multiple people on you, that you're a bit uptight and anxious about actually catching the ball, and you've got to find a way to alleviate that pressure on the players.
Chilovinskas over to Perry Huggins, gets it back. Oh, great pass inside, and he's blocked by U18. Oh, that's a foul call. U18 can't believe it. It looked like it was all ball, but no. Let's check the replay.
I think the referee's gone for the lower arm
yeah.
on that one.
You see it from that angle. So Perry Huggins at the line, playing his regular season basketball for Ipswich in Division 2 and Copleston in the EABL. Averaging 16.4 points per game in the EABL this season, along with 8 rebounds.
I also believe he may have played 3x3 last summer, potentially for Great Britain, I believe, with Wales coach Azub Smalley as the lead out there. So the British basketball circle continues to overlap all over the place. They might have had Wales Jack Davis as a teammate as well in that tournament, I think.
And Uosis can't get his shot to fall. The rebound tapped into the hands of Sholovinskas. And England with the advantage here. And Smith nails a 3.
2 efforts at a rebound, heavy contest from Ireland, and yet the 3 still goes down. If it's not your day, sometimes it's not your day.
And it's stolen away by Perry Huggins. Goes up and slams it home. And the England bench are going wild.
And this is the gamble with Borgelli. He probably wouldn't use a timeout in this exact situation, but having used 2 in the first quarter, he's had nothing to slow England down in the second, apart from hoping that England want to call one.
And there's no need for England to want to call one because everything is going their way at the moment. They have a 52-14 lead, as you see there. Perry Huggins getting up high.
And a big throwdown.
Sholovinskas, 3's not going to drop. So that will do it for the end of the second quarter. A massive 52-14 lead for England over Ireland. And they have been led by Nedas Sholovinskas. He has 12 points, 5 rebounds and 3 assists. Matt Goodwin and Sebastian Emanalo dropping in 9 points each. And for Ireland, Jack Kehoe leading the way with just 6 points. And Iverius Uosis, 4 points, 5 rebounds in the game so far. So Tom is just going to speak to Liam Campbell. We'll go courtside and get his thoughts on the first half so far. So coming up after this game at 11 o'clock, it will be Ireland and Scotland women. So again, make sure to stay tuned to the Basketball Wales YouTube channel. 5 more great games. So we're just going to go courtside with Tom and Liam.
Liam, a great first half for you guys. Obviously, Friday was a little bit of a tough experience. What's changed for you guys today?
We've just picked up the energy. You know, we've had a couple more days together to know what each other like, and we took that friendly loss a bit more personal. So we knew what we had to do and come out firing today. And yesterday, therefore, gave us more confidence.
You've got 4 assists so far, and we've also seen you hustling all over the deck and playing some great pressure defense. Is that the sort of thing you like to bring to a team, and how are you feeling about your performance so far?
I mean, my performance could always be better. It's tough to say at the half because you never know, it could go down, it could go up, so I'd have to say at the end of the game. But I just want to give everything to any team that I'm on, offense and defense, whether that be just rebounding, scoring, assists, or just hustling, even if there's no stats on the actual thing. Because even though the stats show a lot, it's all the heart that's in it, which isn't shown on the stats. So it's just everything that's given in.
And playing in the 4 Nations for England, what does that mean to you to play for England in a tournament like this?
Yeah, it makes you pretty happy, but you can never get complacent because a lot of people do get the chance, but there's always the next level. There's GB, and then on top of that there's the next level, so you can never get complacent at that level. It's a good thing to for you to know that you're there, but it's a wake-up call saying there's another level on top of club, there's another level on top of academy. So it's grateful, I'm thankful, but there's also that next step I'm trying to push for.
Right, thank you for talking to us. Best of luck for the second half.
Thank you.
Tom there with Liam Campbell, who had 1.4 assists in the first half for England. So we're going to take a quick break for half time as we leave the game 52-14 at half time to England. We'll be back with you in around 10 minutes time. Welcome back to Archers Arena here in Cardiff. We're getting ready for the second half between Ireland men and England men. England coming into the third quarter with a 52-14 lead over Ireland. Tom, a pretty unexpected scoreline.
Yeah, at the start of the game we talked about England wanted to put an improved showing on from their defeat to Ireland in a friendly on Friday night, and so far the game has gone the total opposite direction. Some incredible play from England. I mean, I'm just looking at some of the key statistics here from the first half. Ireland with 16 turnovers. Every one of the little points from turnovers, points in paint, second chance points, fast break points, bench points, England needs every single one of those. And their biggest scoring run really blew the game open. It was 9 points to 2. And Ireland got on the board, and then England scored the next 16. That really said something. It was interesting that when the Irish boys came back out of the locker room a couple of minutes ago, the Ireland fans gave them a big reception, and you can hear that the shouts just a little bit there. They'll need that crowd support to really get them back into this game. Yeah,
it's like that atmosphere you can thrive off as well, the passion from the fans, and we've seen it yesterday from the Irish fans as Shulavinskas passed inside, and England draw the foul and the shot, so that's going to send Obo to the line.
Yeah, it looked like they were hard hedging out on that pick and roll, trying to disrupt the guards a little bit, but the roll was good, and Oasis forced to pick up the foul, going for the block. They almost quite had it, but not quite.
So Obo shooting too. He's got 4 points and a couple of rebounds so far, and playing in the EABL for Canterbury High School this season. 11.6 points per game and 8.1 rebounds. As he goes, none of two from the line. That last one looked like it was about to pop in, but England's fighting for the ball, and they're going to get the offensive board, so they're going to get another chance here.
They're just on Obo, the same club as head coach Andy Davis. That provides an element of comfort coming into a new environment, and able to still be coached and probably feel like he's earned the trust, obviously at a different level again, but probably nice to have a familiar face on the staff.
Definitely. It's Shulavinskas with a tough move to the basket. And Uosis picks it up. Around to Janibi. And it's knocked out. Going to come our way.
Yeah, I thought about diving on that loose ball like everyone else has, but I'd never have got back up again. Just again, that pass just a little bit behind, not able to catch it and attack, and they're probably lucky to come away with the ball still.
Tough for Ireland. Hands it off to Uosis. Got space for three. Puts it up. And it's no good.
Good contest there from Anya to put Uosis off.
Liam Campbell. He's been playing with a lot of heart in this tournament so far. He goes up, he's blocked, picks up the ball, swings it back out. And Oyeya driving. No good, but another offensive board for Campbell.
And then it looks like a head injury on Uosis. The referee's potentially not wanting to stop play while England were attacking, but it looks like he's going to need treatment. It looked like a great stand that he took on Liam Campbell. Vertical, took the hit, but I think maybe took the hit to the face as well. You see him back on his feet, but doesn't look too happy.
He's just getting some treatment there. We can see as Campbell drives to the basket, and Uosis. Great stance.
Yeah, it looks like maybe that right elbow of Campbell just catches. Nothing malicious in that at all. Great basketball play from Uosis, strong take from Campbell. But it looks like perhaps a bloodied nose as he receives treatment.
So he's going to have to come off for the moment.
Always with head injuries, always better to just take a second out.
Absolutely.
Get your tests done, and just make sure that there's no lasting impacts.
Ireland managed to strip England of that. Kehoe.
Otherwise, I think Kehoe's going to be the key here. A couple of threes. They're going to need to find him some opportunities out on the perimeter.
Yeah, you need someone for Ireland to step up in Uosis' absence as well, because Uosis has been leading the way, especially rebounding for the Irish squad. 2 seconds to shoot, and Cuff, as the shot clock is winding down, hits that three, and that is going to be a good spark for Ireland.
Good contest by Campbell, who's right there. Cuff had to adapt his body to get out of the way, but really good shot making there.
Campbell stepping through, and he's blocked. Ireland tip it. And Kehoe, he's blocked by Onyea.
2 big blocks in a row.
You can see that Onyea gets up.
It's a great example of timing there from Onyea. The ball's left the hands, he's nowhere near the body. It's one of those ones where, that's as a coach, you'd normally say don't jump, but absolutely jump for that one.
And Onyea can get up there, he's got hops. Cuff tries the 3 again, that one's no good. It's tapped out of bounds, but going to stay with Ireland. Last touch, England. So 3 seconds on the shot clock. I think Cheryl Levinskas is making sure everyone knows there's 3 seconds left.
But this is where Ireland also need to make sure they know. We saw it a few times yesterday, players not knowing what the shot clock's on. Absolutely key that they know that you don't have a lot of time to make a move.
So Cuff, he's going to have to put something up from deep and hits!
That's tough.
That's a tough move. 2 England players in his face.
That's a great shot. They need a little bit more of that just to get themselves going here. Oh my goodness me! If he can carry them to a little bit of a run here, they'll be happy with that.
Goodwin thought about the 3, kicks it down. Levinskas. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Levinskas driving, can't get that to drop. Onyea picks up the rebound, and again another block from Ireland. And Cuff powering down the court, swings it round. His pass was just a bit too strong for Osei Rain, and it comes off his face, unfortunately.
No, really good defense from Declan Ginebe on the other end on Levinskas. Was there, stayed in front, made it a tough shot. A nice block from behind, and just couldn't get it going in transition. It's these small margins. England are catching that ball in transition and making a finish. Ireland aren't able to catch it. It's small margins. And
a 6-0 run for Ireland this quarter. England yet to score.
So look at the energy. You could just see it creeping in on the side of the screen there from the support staff, but you can't necessarily see. Like, there we go. The Irish boys are getting behind their team. Irish girls are going to get changed, but once they come back out, I'm sure they'll be bringing some more noise. The parents and fans will be on it soon as well. It's a nice little run here to get them going.
And Cuff with a finger roll, beautiful shot, and he has been really good for Ireland here in the second half. Campbell, Onyea, hands it off, good, stolen away. And Cuff against Campbell. Cuff with a tough move, draws the foul, so he's going to head to the line. And this third quarter,
it's been all Darryl Cuff.
It's
been the Darryl Cuff show.
So 10 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist. But he has really lit a fire under this Irish squad. Yeah,
definite foul there. And the defense has gone up another level across the whole team. They're getting into the playmakers a little bit more. They help down there to get that steal. Levinskas almost had an open layup, but the help defense comes across in front, takes it away, and off they go in transition. This is more of the Ireland we thought we would see for the whole game.
Absolutely, as Cuff will be at the line for 2. First shot's no good. These rims can be unforgiving, can't they, on the free throws?
And a couple of vuvuzelas up there doing the job that we thought all the Irish fans would do for England.
And Cuff as well, we're one of the players we saw in this Irish squad last year, so familiar with this tournament. And it's great to see players back.
I think having international experience on international experience, if you're playing in the 4 Nations and you're playing the Europeans and you're playing another 4 Nation, maybe another Europeans, by the time you're 19 or 20, you've got 25 high-intensity caps under your belt, and that sort of experience can't be understated.
Cernak for 3. No good, and England still to score here in the third quarter.
Obviously, every single player in this tournament is a great player. Wow!
Cuff again hits the 3. He's on fire here in the third.
He's taken up the slack. We said that Kehoe might have to. Cuff said, Moses is out, it's my time.
By the way, for Levinskas, that's short. Cuff again for Ireland. Hands it off, great pass over. Kehoe can't finish the reverse, and England come up with it again. Emanalo over to Goodwin. Hand off inside to Obo. Can't finish the layup again, so Ireland, again, a chance here to cut into this. Obo picks it back up.
This is getting hectic, but this is the sort of up-tempo basketball from both teams we thought we would see at the start. I think Ireland just want to make sure it's not Levinskas really or Emanalo who does the scoring. If Cernak is taking the threes, I think they're going to live with that.
Emanalo with a fantastic spin and fade away. He has been huge for England this tournament. Cuff for 3. That one doesn't go. But you know, he's had the hot hand. It was a good look.
Oh, I think you've got to take that.
Yeah.
They've not had enough consistent success in this game to not be allowing someone who's been on fire to go and take that shot. If you know, we can see Cuff there. He looks like he's zoned in. He looks fuming with himself that he didn't make that last 3. And here comes Oasis. Maybe a timeout.
We've got a timeout, yeah. So if Oasis can come back on the court, that will be a good boost for Ireland, especially when you've seen him go down. It's always good to have your captain back on the court. And yeah, Cuff here in the third quarter. So he's got 14 points, 4 rebounds in the game. He's hit 3 threes, all of them in the second half.
Yeah, that's is that all 12? All 12 Irish points have come from Daryl Cuff in this quarter. That's taking the game by the scruff of the neck and really attacking and picking up the slack with Oasis out. You know, now that the 2 guards are back in together, by the looks of it, maybe they can piece together a little bit of a threat on both sides of the floor and make England play a little bit more defense than they've had to in that first half.
Yeah, and England here just the 2 points in this quarter. Ireland really outscoring them here, 12-2.
And it looks like the England team aren't particularly happy there with the way they're playing. They've got threats on the floor, but again, even at the highest level, while there are still great players all over the place, you still have to pick and choose who you want to do the scoring. So you look at it and you go, we don't want Cholovinskas to score. You know, we don't want Goodwin to have the ball in his hands. In this group, right, let's try and get the ball out of Emanalo's hands. It's difficult to pick all 3. In this group, you probably want Adine to do the shooting. You probably want Jusnak to do the shooting. Not to say they can't, but as an Ireland coach, you're probably looking at them going, I've got to live with those guys taking the shots.
Yeah. So Cholovinskas at the line for 2. And 17 points for him in yesterday's game against Wales. He's got 12 so far, along with 7 rebounds and 3 assists. And just a great young player as well. We were speaking about this yesterday. There's so much talent in the UK.
Yeah, and I was able to coach against Cholovinskas last year in Division 2. He played in the 4 Nations here last year, but he's also played on this court before that when he was playing for Baltic Stars, and now he's taken a step across on the Lions and just continuing that development. Last year didn't play much of a role for England, and this year is kind of one of the leading players. Just shows that the pathway can still exist in those moments. Nope, lost the ball there. thought I had it.
No rebound for you.
Yeah, no, bounced off the chair. I dribbled it off my foot.
And you mentioned that, and it's great to see the development then, isn't it, of the players when you're able to see them through these age groups coming through the ranks.
Yeah, when you can get a player playing, you know, under 16s in Division 3, under 17s and Division 2, under 18s in Division 1, that's how pathways are supposed to work. So great to see that some of these guys are going through that and hopefully able to contribute to GB success or English success in future.
And 3's up for Ireland, that's too strong, but we've got Uosis back on the court, and you can see the difference he makes to Ireland there, helping them swing the ball around. Foul call will go against England, so it'll be Ireland ball from the end line.
Just held on the rebound, great effort from Nkenwe to go after it, but Ireland, there we go, shooters on both sides of the floor, making it tough to work out where to defend it.
And Cuff, 5 seconds on the clock. Cuff with the floater, can't get it to fall. And Emanalo for England, coming all the way up the court, hangs in the air. That doesn't go. I think he was looking for the foul, but nothing's called. As Ireland somehow managed to keep control of it, and Carberry there looked like he had a lot of space under the basket. Almost looked like he didn't realise where he was stood.
Yeah, I think thought he'd be guarded in that sort of place. You're not normally that open under the hoop. He's open out there.
And nothing but net on that for Carberry. And the 3s are starting to drop for Ireland.
Yeah, they're making a little bit of a dent in this, and we can see the reaction from the Irish fans there. And once your crowd are behind you, when I was with John and James yesterday, they both mentioned playing with crowds. That really gets you going, and defensively you can hear that noise, and it just makes you move your feet a little bit quicker. It makes you chase that rebound just a little bit harder. Yeah. It's only 1 or 2% more, but sometimes that's all the edge you need to just get yourself that little lip where when they get into that performance area.
So Smith and Nwazu back in for England. A bit England from the sideline. And England still with only 2 points in this quarter. We've got 4:03 to play. And Uosis looks like he hits the deck again. He's been playing hard. He's taking some tough hits.
Yeah, I wonder if they may. And they're just going to leave that. I thought they may go across and look to review that one. I think maybe the medical staff a little bit concerned there about Uosis. Just a great steal. Okay, yeah, earnest attempt on the ball right in front of the player. I think the wrong decision would have been to go and make that an unsportsmanlike. I think that's a good call just to leave it there. But just that steal, they've upped their pressure, they've upped their physicality, and it's up to England to match it.
Najawi tries a three and hits. And yet the Irish crowd are getting loud here.
And they're starting to chip into that. You know, what are we now? 22. That feels like a lot, but given what they were down by and this run they're on.
And holding England to 2 points in the quarter as well. That's a big achievement.
Well, we've got our headphones on, so I can hear the noise through the headphones. I can't imagine what it's like for people who are out in the crowd.
And Smith's three's no good. Picked up by Nwazu. And
they needed that. They needed that. It just settles down the crowd a little bit, settles the nerves slightly. Well, if Ireland can answer back immediately, though, that's the sign that they're building some momentum.
Cuff against Smith. Round to Uosis. Inside. That pass is just knocked away. Let's see what he was trying to do, trying to get to the baseline cutter.
Yeah, really important here that Ireland make sure that
so Amu Gottfried in for shoulder
substitution confusion there. So I paused to try and work out what was going on. Really important that Ireland immediately answer back here. They can't let it go 2 possessions without getting what they want. And maybe we tempted our Paul Kelleher to get a timeout if this drops, just to make sure that they find a chance to rebuild their momentum. So another head injury on the rebound.
I think he just got caught as he was going up. I mean, both teams playing very physically today. And
yeah,
then
a lot of bodies, and I think is this that? I'm saying Ryan just chasing that rebound. Maybe the hand just catching Adonai on the rebound. Nothing to that. Nothing to that. Again, that's just the nature of basketball. Sometimes it's the most physical non-contact sport that there is. But when you're in basketball, you're not. That's just one of those ones that you accept happens sometimes.
Okoji turns, kicks it out, and three is good again for Nwazu. Ireland really lighting it up from behind the arc here in the third.
There's back to back for him, and if your bigs can stretch the floor like that, and you've got Cuff and Uosis out there getting it done, then suddenly there's threats all over the place.
And Gottfried trying to break to get inside, gets to the basket but can't finish the layup.
I think he'll want to be making that. He did all the hard work.
And Nwazu stepping to the basket and hangs it in the air. And Nwazu, such a tough player to guard against as well. His length inside his wingspan, able to really reach to the basket. Yeah,
when you're able to control your body and get past the defensive stand, as you get higher up the chain, you more players take more technically correct stances. So as you can squeeze your arms past where they can be, they can't move them back, and that's where having that long wingspan and that body control really pays off.
So Nwazu at the line for two. First shot doesn't go. He's playing in D2 for Myesco this season. Saw him at the Academy Finals a few weeks ago in the EABL.
2 Myesco products in this England team, and Michael Bernard over there played against Myesco last Saturday, and had a chat with him, and he was excited for this tournament, a chance for the youngsters in his team to show what they can do at a higher level.
Gully turns, kicks it out. Okoji for three, no good.
That's what Daryl Cuffs they're going to see. I think he looked pretty shattered, and I think they, give him a couple of minutes and say, right, go on then, see what you can do in the last 10.
Emanalo's three doesn't go. And for Cuff, yeah, the amount of energy and intensity he was playing with when he came out in the third, a real spark for Ireland. Okoji.
Harry Scully's first bit of action in a key moment. And he's ready to go.
That's what you want. You to see he's fired up.
And rightfully so. He's waited the whole game to come in and make an impact, and his team was down 38 and he couldn't get in. And here he is, he comes in.
What a time to make your debut.
You gotta like that for the young man.
Smith for England behind the arc. The chance of defence allowed from this Irish crowd, and it works as they pick up the ball. And U18, he's going to have to slow things down as he's going 1-on-4.
It feels like the way the game feels like Ireland are down 3 with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah.
It does not feel like this is the scoreline, and I think that just shows not only the energy they played with, but how well they played in this quarter.
Still just a 4-point quarter for England as U18 gets to the basket and drops it in.
And there's that backdoor play that we spoke about pre-game. There's that nice little bit of diversion.
And a huge quarter from Ireland as England ahead by 16.
Look at the reaction from the crowd there. Wow. Wow. How good must that feel as a player? You're down, but you've got that boost. You've got the Irish faithful behind you there, and the momentum is only going one way right now, Kaz.
It is completely a 26-4 quarter for Ireland. That is massive. England took the first quarter 25-2. I didn't think we were going to see anything like that again, especially not flips on this.
And if we get a similar quarter to quarter 2, then we've got a barnstormer on our hands. As that ball firing out
going
off the face.
Into half-time, Ireland having hit 2 of their threes. They've hit 7 in the third quarter.
Well, if they can hit another 7, they'll be right on Daryl Cuff. How good was he at the start? He was zoned in. Well, just going off injured, and he just took it upon himself to carry that workload. We thought it might be Keogh after his first 2 threes, but Daryl Cuff said, no, this is my time. And he was, Carberry managed to hit a 3, and Goey hit 2, Scully hit 1. The whole supporting cast started to get going. And we've seen it, Ireland like to shoot 3s, Kaz.
And it's working at the moment, isn't it? So they're just 16 down as they're going to head into the fourth quarter. And England ahead by 38 at one point, so that's a huge chunk they've put into.
They almost wish it was a college game of 2 halves rather than 4 quarters. This hopefully, from their perspective, doesn't kill their momentum. But they were 11.8% from 3 in the first half, and they're up to 31% overall in the game. So that tells you how well they're shooting. If that continues to rise, then they are going to be right in this game.
Absolutely. So let's see what the next 10 minutes brings. Teams coming back on court for one more quarter.
The roar from the Ireland fans as their team came out of that huddle. It makes me wish I was good at basketball.
And Daniel Cuff leading all scorers with 14 points as he headed into half-time with 2. U18. That's Nawaji. Carberry. And 6 seconds on the shot clock here. And that's going to be a
moving screen, yeah. Yeah, our view was just blocked at the perfect time there, wasn't it? But yeah, it looks like Okoji just too keen to set that screen. Lots of movement there, but maybe not enough spacing. But a solid enough start. And we'll see how England come out with offense. It looks like maybe Liam Campbell's back in to try and run the show a little bit. Although, have I spoken too soon there, Cass?
As England committed the turnover and the ball just goes out of bounds off that pass. So Ireland definitely momentum in their favour at the moment.
Yeah, and again, just through our headphones, you can just hear the chants and the shouts, and you can hear the twang as well in it. But as a player out on court, you can definitely hear that, and even if you can't always hear the exact words, you just know it's for you, and it gives you just that little bit of extra juice.
And that 3 is not going to drop for Ireland. as Smith picks up the rebound.
It's a very big unit out here. Ian Campbell, probably the only player under 6'4", maybe even 6'5".
Campbell, great pass off to Perry Huggins, and he comes up.
Great defense. Wow, Okoji with the stand.
And that's tough from Okoji.
That requires a lot of discipline. That as they're coming towards, as we saw in the Wales game, they were tempted to go for the blocks. Gets across on the help. Straight up, just taps the ball, body straight up, arms straight up, and that's one of the better pieces of defense I think we'll see all tournament. It doesn't look like a lot, but that's a really tough bit of defense.
U18. Gets it back, he's going to try the three, and hits. It's a 13-point game.
Guys, what's happening?
I'm not sure. I wasn't sure what was happening in the
all
first
of my
quarter.
predictions for the game are just nowhere near the mark.
And ball's out. It's going to stay with England, and the Irish fans here on their feet, getting loud chants of defence, and the audible disappointment when the ball's with England.
And I can see that the medical staff and the administrative staff on the end of the bench, they are as up for this game as anyone else.
Onye driving to the basket, and
good take.
That's good for England. That's what they needed to see.
Yeah, good take. He went strong. He didn't let the bodies put him off. Just moved to the side a little bit to finish that off.
U18 draws the foul from Campbell.
Campbell owns up to that one. Just checks on Oasis. Oasis has taken a few hits today.
He's
been in the wars.
He's
going to sleep. He's going to sleep well tonight.
Yeah, quite pleased this is the last game and he can head back home.
Physio's going to be a busy operative.
Scully hands it off to U18. Nawaji in the corner and hits. It's a 10-point game. Ireland's making a massive comeback. They were down 38 earlier on.
That's his third three. That's really impressive stuff. And look at the energy he's got on that rebound. 3 threes for the big man.
Okoji hands it off. Carberry, he hit a three earlier on. U18. And it's going to bounce about everywhere except for into the basket.
Oh, I'm going to date myself with that reference. That looked like a game of Kaplunk up there with, with where it was hitting. Wow, the energy in here. Oh, since half-time, Ireland 36, England 6. This is 32. My maths is not that great, guys. Joe, I got ahead of myself there.
I mean, that's huge. That's a huge swing.
That's a seriously long run. And just putting England under so much pressure. It's like the two teams have just entirely swapped roles in this half.
And a foul on Ireland, so inbound for England. Excuse me, it's a 12-point game. England up 58-46. Campbell looking to get it in. And into Cholovinskas, and there was a lot of pressure there from Ireland. And Nawaji pulling down the rebound, gets it over to U18.
More good defense there. Just stayed strong, stayed upright. Cholovinskas hoping to squeeze away around, but Ireland throwing layers of help defense.
And a great steal from Cholovinskas. Over to Smith, gets it over the halfway line. Onye for three,
big
and
three.
That's big for England.
It almost feels like that could be a dagger. It depends how these next couple of trips go. But Ireland need to make sure that they just keep going on offense. They keep putting scores on the board. Keep putting England under pressure.
Just like that.
Wow. The mental fortitude to have taken 3 massive hits in a game and come back and still be contributing at the high level that Oasis is.
Campbell out to Smith. Thought about the three, drives to the basket inside. Out to Cholovinskas. His three won't go. And a chance here for Ireland to put it to single digits. They were down 38 earlier on. They're making a massive comeback here in the second half.
This is one of the most incredible halves. That is deep.
Scully with a huge three.
Wow!
Hits that all the way from Ireland.
He's been in the game about 5.5 minutes, and when he's on court, Ireland are killing it. That's a massive three. He might as well have been on the bench when he took that one.
It's a 9-point game. England need to answer here, and Perry Huggins can't get the layup to drop. Offensive board for England though, and again, no good. Campbell with the rebound.
They're fatigued. I think Ireland have called a timeout. While they've got the momentum, I'm not convinced by that, but I think, looking at the way that Oasis are moving, like they need to have a breather.
And shot clock violation. Huge D from Ireland, and you can see the players are fired up, the crowd are fired up, the bench love it. Everybody on that side of the court absolutely loving this game so far.
Oh, wow. I mean, the reaction there as they called that timeout, I get, like, from a coaching perspective, you know, you've got the momentum, but does want to give his players a breather and perhaps, you know, just not settle them down, but find a way to keep them contributing. I think Adam Davis would be very grateful for that timeout. But I just can't quite believe what I'm seeing. The way that Ireland have fought back here, it felt like they were not crumbling in that first half. Nothing went their way, and it didn't feel like they were operating at full speed, if not full execution. But this second half has been exactly what we expected from Ireland, and England being put under real pressure here to show what they're made of.
Yeah, a 38-point lead for England earlier on, now down to 9. You can see there, just Ireland just knocking down the threes. They hit 2 in the first half, and then 11 in the second. This has been incredible. So make sure to like and subscribe to the Basketball Wales YouTube channel, because we have got games like this for you throughout today.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great day of basketball, and the only place to watch it is here on the Basketball Wales YouTube page, unless you are in the area. But it's quite a trek down to Cardiff if you haven't left already. But, England,
why not give it a go for the last game?
Yeah, I was going to say,
yeah.
So just have to might find a private helicopter somewhere, but get on board, and you know, England have got to not only hold firm here, they have to go again in just a few hours.
Yeah.
A real test for them here.
And that's when you've had such a big lead, when you've been so dominant throughout the game, it can shake you like this, just down to single digits. And the Irish crowd, much bigger here at the moment than the English supporters. And it's you're going to be feeling like you're playing in an away venue. Scully, he has been huge for Ireland this second half. Nwaji, back to Scully. Carberry, shot clock running down, 5 seconds, kicks it out. Drive inside, and Nwaji draws the foul, so he's going to head to the line.
21 seconds there, just constant ball movement. We saw handoffs, we saw, you know, the little away screens that Ireland like to run to just free up the shooters as they come around the top of the perimeter. The next few offenses, if you're watching at home, you need to take a look at that. The way they set those little cross screens just to free up the guards as they come around on the perimeter. You know, they had a lot of ball movement there. And that's more the sort of offense that I saw on Friday night for those little bits I watched of the friendly between these two teams. Friendly. According to Liam Campbell at half time, he said they took that personal. So maybe it wasn't a very friendly game. But we now 7-point game.
And England need to try and answer here as Emanalo with a big three for England. The arc on that as well came down with snow on top.
Yeah, and probably a roll that I wasn't expecting. When I saw it hit the rim, my instincts thought that was going back out.
As Uosis again draws the foul under the basket. I think just Obo just falls over him. Nothing. Yeah,
they're just checking on each other there.
Yeah.
Uosis just checking that Obo's okay. Good sportsmanship. Yeah, just sometimes as he went to chase that rebound. Yeah,
just trips over him.
Always a fear, but is that the 4th time we've seen Uosis on the deck?
I mean, he's going to need a break after this one.
That's a sore man there. This is the big test. Free throws under pressure, under the fatigue. He's taken an absolute battering today. If he can knock down his free throws consistently down the stretch, and that'll show something.
Just under 4.5 minutes to play in the 4th. Second one's short.
They need those.
10-point game. England with the ball. And Campbell loses it. It's going to go back the way of Ireland. And Ireland doing such a good job here in the second half. It's incredible to see. They just needed a bit of time to warm up, I think.
Yeah, I think it's almost not been, you know, two teams. Like, it's been one team has always played that strong physical defense, and one team's not coped with it, and they've just switched jerseys at half time almost. It's almost a carbon copy of some of it. Onyea
driving all the way to the basket, can't get it to drop, and again picked up by Ireland.
A great rebound, but also great composure to not immediately throw that pass, shrug it off, and then get the ball out to a guard.
Carberry stops inside, out to Scully. Scully for three. That one doesn't drop. And Shola Vinskas hands it off. And Campbell going to reset here for England. Again, England don't need to rush, but Emanalo puts up a three. Obo with a nice little move to the basket, just can't get it to drop.
Looks like every player out there is just giving every ounce of effort they've got. We're lucky enough to be so close to it, but you can just see the effort that someone like Scully is putting in. He looks drained, Erosis looks drained, but what else are they going to do?
They're leaving it all on the court. It's their last game of the tournament. And it's been fantastic to see, as we're going to see Cuff come back in along with Kehoe, and Cuff, the instigator of that third quarter where they were just unstoppable for England.
Yeah, I think Scully's been great. Looked like he was potentially running out of a little bit of juice there, but he's played his role as best as he can. And with Cuff and Oasis out there, and Kehoe managed to hit some of the very few shots that Ireland hit in that first half. These three guards, along with these two bigs, he's done a great job on the boards. He's got 6 blocks as well. Not managed to get anything to fall through the hoop today. And then Nkoe's hit 3 threes and also helped on the boards. This is probably the unit now for Ireland for these last 3 minutes.
Yeah, 3:14 to play.
England having to probably not play the 5 that they might like to play in order to match up with the Irish bigs. They'd probably like to have all 4 of Emanalo, Goodwin, Campbell and Jolovinskas out there, but they need to have the 2 bigs to handle Okoye and Nkoe, and I think they could probably defend the speed a little bit better than maybe those English guards could defend the size. So an interesting matchup battle.
Campbell out to Emanalo, driving the baseline, shots up, and that's good. Emanalo has been massive for England.
Yeah, so it's just a tough finish. Body's flying towards him, and he did a really good job to hold his composure, get it over the shot blocker.
16 points for him. And Nuaji can't answer. Rebounds pulled down by England.
Yeah, and I just saw Paul Geller looking for a timeout. They need to, good foul call. They need to find a way to get some points in a little bit of a hurry here. Was it 12 with 2:45? Just need to find a way to get back to consistent offense. I think they maybe rushed their last couple of offenses.
In fact, they brought it down to a 7-point game earlier. This has been an incredible turnaround from Ireland.
This is probably what kind of hurts them the most at the moment, is that now it's back up to 12. It feels like loads, but they were down by 38 and they got it down to, they had a chance at taking it into a couple of possession game. That's such a great fight back. So they just need to find a way to steady ship, go on a little quick run here. They need the Irish fans to help on these free throws, but then they just need to put the next 5 points on the board. If they can get it back down to 7, then they've got a great chance at taking this game away. If they can't knock off these scores a little bit quickly, they do need to start getting in a bit more of a hurry here. Don't necessarily have to shoot quicker, but the ball needs to move a bit quicker, and they need to find a couple of good looks. Definitely. So if you've got a play that you know is good, this is your time to use it.
And a 40-14 second half for Ireland. That's after England had a 52-14 half in the first half.
It's been something, hasn't it? It's been something. I just think that the shooting obviously helped, but it didn't come from the shooting. It came from the defense. Yeah. The way that they picked up their pressure on defense. That yes, the last couple of possessions that England have scored, but fundamentally on the whole, they have clamped. For want of a better word, they've got out, they've been aggressive, they've got tips, they've got steals, they've played good help defense, they got out in transition, and then the threes come. And we can see that the crowd here are ready to explode behind them. If the free throws don't go down from Obo, and he's not a 3 from the line so far today. If these don't go down and Ireland get a score the other way, we could be in for an absolute cracker of a final few minutes of play.
That first one hits the rim.
Cuff again. I noticed this was a tactic that he used yesterday. Just go stand in front of the free throw shooter, direct traffic a little bit. Might even go rebound himself, but just to try and get in the head. I mean, big free throw. I quite like that tactic from Cuff.
It's a good one. And
there we go. They've gone for their 4 guards and one big, and we'll see now how this matches up. Emanalo's going to have to do a big job on the boards here.
And when you've got Goodwin back in the game as well, you've got so many three-point threats out there for England in Emanalo, Goodwin and Sholovinskas. But Ireland put up the 3, no good offensive board though. Uosis saves it in.
Wow.
What a pass.
Wow.
And who's the recipient? Cuff fighting for it.
Uosis with a big grin on his face. He's going to claim he meant that. And this looks like an absolute laser to Cuff. Almost the perfect backdoor pass. And yeah, down he goes. That is a fantastic save from Uosis. So
Cuff here at the line for 2. England on team fouls now, so any foul committed by them is going to send Ireland to the line for the last 2:31. First one's good for Cuff. 15 points in the game for him. He led that charge in the 3rd quarter. 12 of his points coming in the 3rd. Really stepping up in Uosis' absence.
Yeah, and if they can ride Uosis and Cuff here towards the finish, you know, that starts to chip away. Free throws are going to be so important. Clock's off, a chance for 2 points every time. Now they're in team fouls. They have to make sure they keep being aggressive, and also hope for a couple of lucky bounces, I think.
And Ireland with still a couple of fouls to give up until that point. Now they got 1.
Yeah, that feels potentially harsh in the context of the game, but fundamentally, you know, you've got to make sure you get to that spot first, and there's a strong drive on the catch immediately by Manalo to make sure that the defense was under pressure. Got to keep, even though you're assertive, you're up, you want to still be assertive.
Out to Goodwin. And travel call on England, so turnover. Ball's back with Ireland.
He was looking around wondering whether or not that was a travel. Adam Davis just telling him to shoot that ball. You know, he was open, be aggressive. Don't turn down good looks just because you're trying to kill a little bit of time. There's still probably a bit too much time to run 24-second offenses.
Uosis against Sholovinskas. Stops, pulls up. Oh, and a great move from him.
9. Wow. Here we go, Kaz. Here we go.
Final 2 minutes. Goodwin going against Cuff. Out to Campbell. And Sholovinskas with a 3. That's no good for England. Rebound pulled down by Kehoe over to Cuff. Uosis is there. Uosis, short jumper from the baseline, and he's fouled. You can see Sholovinskas puts his hand up. He just caught his hand on the shot, so that's going to send him to the line.
Yeah, Uosis made it. He had the baseline. He knew he had the baseline. He just made it look like he wanted to head towards the middle, and then a smart little rip through to the baseline gave him enough space that Sholovinskas was late and forced to foul. I could just see Uosis can't repeat what I think he said, but I could just see that he's feeling it a little bit in terms of the physicality of basketball. You know, another trip to the floor there, and yeah, I think we're gonna have to find some ice for him.
Definitely. So big shot here for Uosis. 8-point game. And no good. Travel call. And again, Ireland are going to get the ball back.
They're just trying to escape the double team on the rebound. I think he took one step too many before putting the ball down on the floor. Pressure does funny things. An 8-point game. Wow, here we go. This is a massive inbound set.
Kehoe for 3. Not going to fall. Offensive rebound, Ireland will get another chance. Nwaji hands it off on a great lay-in from Okoji. It's a 6-point game.
Yeah, they're trying to go full court pressure, but Cuff doesn't think he fouled. I think he needs to just take that one because it was 3v1 down the other end. And I think 2 shots. I thought they still had one more. Sorry, Gaz. There we go. So yeah, I thought for a second that was about to be a good foul to take. Maybe it still will be. You don't know, but rebounding's been tough in this game. And they've got stops down the line. There's that noise that we were asking for from the Irish.
Yeah, and Campbell misses the first free throw. So 6-point game here. We got 1:28 to play. Ireland making a massive comeback, down 38 points earlier on. I still can't get my head around it.
No, I can't believe it. I've had to take one of the ears off their headphones just to listen to this noise.
And Campbell's second shot doesn't drop, but that's a huge rebound. But but can't finish
Can't
on
get it
the
to go.
back.
The noise in this gym is incredible, Kaz. I've had to take one of these headphones off, and there's a foul called there as well. This is it might be the 9 AM game, but you can have. I'm looking across. There's an awful lot of people who were.
There's a lot of green and a lot of pointing.
Yes.
So Ireland at the line. Stanley Nwaji with 2 big shots for Ireland here. This is going to close the gap. The game hasn't been this close since the first quarter, since we had a 7-2 game in the first quarter.
I mean, to take this to 4. His shooting's been great today. He's 100% from the line. He's hit 3 threes. I really hope I haven't done it, but this is where you can really show your mettle.
Yeah.
Like, it's not to say that if you don't make these free throws, you can't handle it. But wow, what a moment to have an impact for your country.
And Nwaji 1 of 2 from the line. It's a 5-point game.
A little bit of pressure being brought here by Ireland, hoping to speed them up into a turnover. And they thought they had it. Looked like it's just knocked out of Campbell's hands, but the foul called on it. And that's going to send him back to the line. And for Ireland, that could be a good foul. He missed his 2 shots earlier. Yeah, you just got to make sure you clean up on these rebounds. They cannot afford to allow the second chance points. I thought that Anya should have put those away earlier. Fine bounce.
Campbell will be glad to see that go through the net. Leads back to 6. And this is a test for England here, isn't it? You've been up big. The other teams come right back into this, and you need to be able to hold your nerve here. Yeah, Campbell does just that with that free throw. Oh, and a turnover. Exactly what you don't need in that situation. You can see the grimace on Paul Kelleher's face. It's Campbell with time. 1:08 to play. And he'll draw the foul as well. So Campbell going back to the line. 7-point game here, 69-62, England over Ireland. And Koji and Cuff on 4 fouls, but I think that's just the 3rd on Koe, so he's able to commit that with no real issues. Interesting strategy here from Paul Kelleher. Effectively going for the hacker shack style. Make them earn it from the line to try and get back into it. Campbell so far is up to the challenge in these last few free throws. Campbell just 1 point in the game before these free throws, but he's a player that impacts the game and other areas as well. You might not see it on the score sheet, but he really affects the game, and he's hitting some big shots here in the 4th quarter. Yeah, those are 4 clutch free throws from his recent trip there. That first half, he was instrumental in the way that England played, and picking up a steal there. That's big from Campbell. And breaks the defence. Campbell draws the foul again, so he's going to go back to the line. And Liam Campbell living at the line for the last minute or so here. Yeah, there'll be a Koji gone, but some great play. He's almost secured this game just by himself with those last few free throws and that defensive stop there. Koji just getting a pat from Paul Kelleher to say great shift. He's ended up with plus 11 in the game, which, given that some of his teammates have had far less success out on court, plus 11 or plus 10 now, sorry, while your team's losing by 9 is really impressive. It is. He's got 2 points, but 11 rebounds, 5 assists to go along with it. 3 steals, 6 blocks. Wow, that's some serious defense. That's give him a good index come the end of the game. Quite done for Ireland yet, but it feels like the momentum's really been taken out of it. And Campbell 1 of 2 from the line. They need threes probably rather than and quickly as Uosis from deep rather than free throws. And Goodwin, England with time on their side here. Goodwin just hands it over to Sholovinskas. He's going to have to pop back out and reset. And that'll be a bit of a late whistle. That'll be on Campbell again.
Wonder if they'll go unsportsmanlike foul on this. Yeah. No play made on the ball. He just came across and grabbed with two hands. So they're going to probably go to review it, but I don't see that being changed. The rules are the rules in these circumstances.
Yeah.
This is where I don't necessarily agree with these rules. I'll give my opinion first. Stop clock fouls are maybe something that could be a thing, but fundamentally you have to make a play on the ball, and I think it's going to be very clear he did not make a play on the ball. He just went to foul, and you are not allowed to intentionally foul people anymore in the game of basketball.
Yeah.
The rules are the rules. We can see it on the stream here, nowhere near the ball, just pushing. So I don't see that being overturned, to be honest.
No, it doesn't look like it will be, and that'll send Campbell back to the line for his 4th straight trip.
As much as I'm not a massive fan of rules,
he's almost sorry.
Yeah.
It's almost slightly too late. Like you could see he was going for it as the ball, as Campbell was about to pass the ball, but he was too late to get there.
But also, was he going for the ball? You know, he's late, and has he gone for the ball? If you've got two hands onto the body, it's tough to justify that you've also gone to pass to the ball. It's not as big a decision as possible given it's a 10-point game, but it's still pretty impactful because if it's an unsportsmanlike foul, that is game done.
Yeah.
If it's just a regular foul, they still have a little bit of a chance. So it'd be sorely tempting to change your mind here. It'd be very interesting to see what decision the two officials have come up with.
They're taking their time getting back on court with their decision.
Change to a regular foul. Regular foul. I'm gonna guess a little bit into the insights of the referee. They're going to. I imagine they've gone. He was just late going for the player on the ball. Would be that. I'm surprised they've changed their mind. I think that's the logic behind it, and it does give Arnold a little bit of a chance. You can see he's going to sub back in his rebounders by the looks of it. Nope, they're just moving along the bench.
Yeah. So they have Goodwin at the line. Looked to me like the foul was on.
Yeah, there we go.
They've switched.
You can also use the review system to check the shooter as well, if needs be, so that they weren't going to allow Goodwin to sneak in there.
Campbell his 4th trip to the line, and that first one doesn't drop.
They need to secure this rebound. They need to secure this to give themselves any chance, any form of offensive rebound, and that will be that. 10 in 36 seconds is still quite tough.
And Campbell doesn't get the friendly roll. U18 with the rebound. Ireland need to get something off quickly. Kehoe pulls up for 3. That's no good. Rebound England, and Goodwin will draw the foul, and that may do it for the.
Jonathan just with the long bomb nearly after the whistle, but yeah, I think that is probably that they needed that to go. It looks like that this epic effort at a comeback will end in what might be described as technically failure. I don't think I would describe it.
It has been massive credit to Ireland, and going down 38, bringing it back to within 5. That's
looking at this little. We've on the FIBA live stats, you can see it goes down to 38 during just before half time, and then just a consistent effort to keep bringing it back. It gets down to nearly a 2-possession game at one point.
Tough. His shot doesn't go. Rebounds pulled down by England, and Campbell fighting for it. Campbell got absolutely sky high to get that rebound.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, didn't we? He's got such a strong body that he was able to take that hit in the air and still hold on to it. Looks like Paul Keller's just called off the troops there. They're just going to let them advance the ball, and that will remain an 11-point game. But first of all, credit to England.
Yeah.
That first half display was fantastic. That you can't argue that they weren't absolutely dominant in that first half, and I think on balance they are deserved winners. And what an effort by Ireland to not collapse, not crumble, and to come back into that game. That's a great game of Four Nations basketball, Ireland fans are proud of their team for fighting back. England fans are proud of their team for winning and putting on a display and holding on against such an onslaught. And that's an absolute treat we've just witnessed.
It is. An onslaught is the correct word to use, isn't it? A barrage of three-point shooting in the second half got Ireland to within 5, and just a huge game from them. They were led by Daryl Cuff, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and he was instrumental in that third quarter comeback when we saw U18 go out with that injury.
Yeah, U18 took a few hits today, and we thought that when he went down, that would be it. We thought that they were going to struggle from there, but Cuff led that fight back, and then some threes from Nkewe. U18 came back into the game. Harry Scully came in.
Scully was huge.
And he came in and he hadn't played for most of the game. And he came in and immediately hit a 3 and was pumped and helped turn that game around and brought that energy required. And we can see that behind us, while we're watching the highlights of the stream, the Irish fans showing their appreciation to the players and the players reciprocating it.
So a fantastic game here at Archers Arena. 73-62 is the final score as England take the win over Ireland. And England leading in the scoring. Sebastian Emanalo, 16 points, 6 rebounds. He hit a couple of threes, and he has been instrumental for England in the last couple of games. So we're just going to go courtside with Tom and England coach Adam Davies.
Adam, congratulations on a win. We'll go with the second half first. You guys held on against the fierce onslaught. What did you learn about your team there in that second half?
Good resilience. We knew Ireland were going to come with something. We know they're going to shoot the ball better, a lot better in the second half. So the guys dug deep, stayed resilient, stayed relentless, and stayed composed in the end. We could have lost our heads. I don't think we did at all. Really proud of them in that way for sure.
That first half, 52-14 to you guys, and a massive turnaround from that friendly on Friday night. Just what went so well for you in that first half?
Defense, ball pressure. Having hands up and just applying pressure everywhere, applying pressure on the ball, in the passing lanes, on the rebounds, on the glass, mental pressure, just physical pressure. We stepped up a level for sure.
And then for yourself, head coaching England at the Four Nations, how does that feel for you?
Very proud, very to represent my country again. Very fortunate to work with some good players and some great coaching staff, and pretty proud moment.
Well, congratulations on the win. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Coach Adam Davies there talking about today's game, and what a fantastic game that was. What an example of the kind of basketball that we have here at the Four Nations tournament. First game is done. England taking the win over Ireland. So coming up very shortly, it will be the Wales women against the Ireland women at I'm going to say 11 o'clock, but it's probably a little slightly after that, probably around 11:10. And a big thank you to our sponsors and Basketball Wales for putting on such a great showcase of basketball today. So iPro, Hydrate, Bigfoot Basketball, Starting 5, Smaller Ballers, Sports Wales, Cardiff Met University. Thank you again for sponsoring this tournament, making such a great event and a great showcase here at Archers Arena in Cardiff. So stay tuned to the Basketball Wales YouTube channel. Coming up next, it will be Wales and Ireland women.